Welcome to the Pikeville City Managers Report. I'm your host, Jill Fraley-Dotson. For today's show, as always, Pikeville City Manager Philip Elswick joins us to talk about things going on in and around the city of Pikeville. Hey, Philip, good day.
Hello, Jill.
We have a lot to get to, as we always do, and it seems like every time we get together, I start out with, we have so much to talk about on today's show. But in fact, there are so many great things going on that we need to update our community members on, and of course, let them know what they can expect for the future. So,
absolutely.
One of the prettiest things that has happened to our downtown area in the last couple of months is a brand new clock on the corner of Main and Division Street. And if you haven't been by there, it is really has really added to the landscape of that area. And you can see right now the unveiling of the clock that was just a few weeks ago. Tell us a little bit about how the clock came about and the purpose for it.
Well, a few months ago, the mayor and I traveled to Fort Mitchell after the high school football championship in December that unfortunately the Panthers lost. The mayor had entered into a wager with the mayor of Fort Mitchell that the losing city would travel and visit the other city. So as part of that visit, the mayor saw a clock of that similar clock in Fort Mitchell and wanted one for the downtown area. So knowing that PMC had a clock similar to that, we inquired about its availability, and Donovan Blackburn now was using that clock, but he offered to purchase us a clock just to signify the great relationship and partnership between the city and the hospital. And Pikeville Medical Center is a great institution in the city of Pikeville, not just for the number of people they employ, but for the quality of life that it brings their citizens with quality medical care here, without having to travel outside the region, and then the benefits that it serves as we try to recruit businesses, or as you try to recruit businesses to Kentucky Enterprise Industrial Park. That's an important thing to business executives, is having quality health care. So we've always had a great relationship, and Donovan, having been former city manager, I just wanted to signify that, and really went above and beyond anything we could have expected or anticipated in the clock that they gifted to the city. So we're very appreciative. We've thanked him profusely for that, and it is a great addition to the downtown area. It
really is, and since it being located there, as you drive down Main Street, a lot of times I see people using it as a photo opportunity for their families or their kids, and especially on the weekend at our events since then. And I know at Dinner in White, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, it was certainly a photo opportunity. So it is a beautiful addition to our downtown area, and again, like you said, really signifies the relationship that the city has with Pikeville Medical Center.
It does.
We are always looking for new businesses. Of course, that's what my main job is now, looking for new businesses to locate within the city limits, but also specifically in our downtown area. And the city of Pikeville has had a lease program in place for a few years that with city-owned buildings, they will lease those properties for $1 a year. Once the business gets on their feet, then of course rent is paid after the fact. But we now have a location that is back on that program. It was previously Roasted was housed in the location, and the last business that the space was awarded to fell through because of some illness within their administration. So the 773 Hamley Boulevard, what we refer to as the Roasted building, is now available. We're accepting RFPs for that.
It is. We have issued requests for proposals for that business, and the commission will entertain any proposal that you have. So we encourage anyone that's interested in starting a new business in the city to submit their business proposal. The only requirements is you submit a business plan, the number of jobs you anticipate employing, and then a rent schedule. And for the first 3 years, the rent's $1 per year. And after that, it escalates based on the schedule you provided and our expectations for the rental of that space. So any business will be considered, and if you're interested, you can contact our office about more information, or if you want to visit the building. But we'll be considering that, and the commission's excited to see what sort of proposals we get.
Yeah, there have been a number of thoughts about what should be in that space. But the great thing is that we will entertain all of the proposals that are submitted. Last time there were several that were submitted for the space, and it obviously once housed a coffee shop, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. So
it does not. No.
Any business that, or any entrepreneur out there that has wanted to maybe open a business someday and would like to go into partnership, so to speak, with the city, we are certainly excited to see what that is. And that proposal will be out for 30 days, so those will be opened on August 9th.
Okay,
then,
well, we're excited to see what we receive.
It will be a lot of fun to see what those offers are. We talk about events in downtown area, the downtown area all the time, and one of the premier events that happens every summer is Dinner in White. And Minta Trimble, our director of Main Street, and her Main Street board, along with help and volunteer hours from a host of other people, get together, and they did a tremendous job this year, the largest one to date. Yeah,
Dinner in White has grown every year, and this year we had over 400 guests that were there. It's a very elegant event, as you see from the photos. Everyone dresses in white, or the men get to wear khaki. This year, U-Pike dancers were there. There's a dance floor. We also had Dueling Barrels and Poly Hollow there displaying their products. The downtown restaurants will offer special menu items, especially for that event. And it's a great fundraiser for the Main Street program. Main Street does a lot of good work in the downtown area. And that program, or this fundraiser, really contributes to the work that they're able to do. You mentioned that there's a lot of people that assist with that, and that's very true. The staff at the Appalachian Wireless Arena are very instrumental in preparing it and taking it down when it's over, as well as staff from the jail with jailer Brian Morris and his people at the detention center were also very helpful. We're very appreciative of that.
That is an event that starts a couple of days before with UMG hanging the chandelier that you see and all the lights that go across that area. And then certainly the morning of. I mean, they're out there at 7 o'clock putting down tables and making sure everything is as it should be. And there's just a host of people that make sure that event happen. And like you said, this year, over 400, I think it was 408 actually, people that were there. But next year, they're looking at obviously ways to improve and expand. So getting that event to be bigger and better is certainly a focus of that committee.
Absolutely. And it's a great event now, but it always gets better.
Absolutely. And one of the, like I said, the premier events that our city has to offer. Another one of the great events, and it's something that I know Jimmy Taylor and his crew and the guys at the fire department and the police department really take great pride in, as we all do, is the 4th of July. And this year, it was just phenomenal.
It was. This was, I think, the best 4th of July event that I can remember. We had live music in the Appalachian Wireless Plaza, as well as the gazebo in the city park. There were inflatables on Main Street and in the city park. There were thousands of people in town for that event.
And I think of the video that we're seeing right now, and I love the fact that Ronnie and the guys at Pike TV are going out and seeing those events firsthand. When you are on the mountain and the preparation that morning, a lot of people don't realize, number one, how dangerous it is.
That's right.
But number two, how much time and effort and really an intricate detail to every blast that is set off has to take place. And it's certainly a feat that they do a remarkable job with.
Yeah, several of our police and firefighters work that event and dedicate their time to making it a great fireworks show for our citizens. This year, during the finale, they could hear the people in town cheering and applauding the work that they had done, and that was rewarding for them. And the city, especially the commission, is very, very appreciative of the work that they do. And events like that are a joy to have in town as we celebrate our nation's independence.
Yeah, UMG and the VFW got together. You're seeing the fireworks there now, and they provided barbecue for 1,000 people. I mean, that's free food, free entertainment, and then the fireworks show that we're seeing now. It is just the pictures and the video, if you watch it over and over again, is really, to me, the best that our region has to offer.
Absolutely. The fireworks were different this year. We had some fireworks that we've never had in the past, and that was a great addition. It's just a fun time, and The fire department, police department has some ideas for how to expand that again next year, and we're excited to see what they do.
Really setting the bar and raising the bar on themselves.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yep.
It's always good when you can challenge yourself to do bigger and better things, and certainly in the city, that's what we do every single day. But I know our guys at the fire department and the police department are really looking forward to next year already.
Absolutely.
Something that I'm looking forward to, and I know that our entire tourism department in the city of Pikeville, events included in the app and the arena, we're looking forward to our first ever booth at the Kentucky State Fair in Louisville in August.
Absolutely. We're really excited to do that for this year. Jimmy Taylor, the tourism director, as you mentioned, has been working on that and planning with a number of other folks what that space will look like and the things that we will showcase there as part of that event. We will definitely focus on, of course, the city and our tourism here, but also the Appalachian Wireless Arena and what it has to offer, and the Appalachian Center for the Arts, or the app as we call it. That is, like you said, it's the first time we've done that, but we think it's going to be a great thing for the city to do that, and we're excited to see what kind of response we get.
What I think is so interesting, I've never been to the State Fair. I lived in Kentucky all of my life, but I think it's one of the things that if you are a resident here, you think, oh, I can go next year, I can wait and go whenever. But 600,000 people travel through that exposition center in Louisville over the course of 10 days. So to be able to see the effort that's going in from our booth and the other booths that will be there and other areas that are represented is going to be a lot of fun for us. And certainly we always say, stay in Pikeville, play in the mountains, and that's what our focus is going to be.
That's right. Yep.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I look forward to the pictures and video and all of the new visitors that we'll have to our area after the State Fair.
It'll be really nice to be able to expose our city to that many visitors at one time or over the course of a few days that maybe don't know what we have to offer here.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that when you travel downstate, I know you experience this as I do, and Jimmy and Andy and everybody does. They'll say, what are you doing in Pikeville? It's amazing what you all do there. And we invite them to come.
Sure.
But this way, we're going to branch out to a whole different group of people that may have heard but just don't know. So we're definitely going to show them. And I can tell you firsthand, being on the group that is planning that effort, no stone is being unturned. And it is going to be certainly a spectacle, as we want it to be. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that group puts together a phenomenal booth for the State Fair.
It's like everything we do, it'll be very well done.
It absolutely will be. Speaking of being well done, we are now starting, equipment is in place and construction is underway for our new access road to the Kentucky Enterprise Industrial Park that will make it much easier to get up on the mountain in the years to come.
Yeah, we talk about this road, it seems like every month, and it's been ongoing for a while, but it's an important addition to the industrial park. It's a much shorter road than we have currently. It's less curvy than the road we have now. So, and it ties in directly to US 23 on the southern end of town. So that project is on schedule to be completed in September of 2020. And it will really help the park as you attempt to market that.
You keep mentioning that as I attempt to market it. Well, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that land is occupied in a timely fashion.
That's
but
right.
It's certainly the new road up there. And if you have traveled up there, and I always say, if you've never been up there on that beautiful piece of property, take the time to do that. Take your family, take a picnic,
Absolutely.
Sit around and look at certainly the beauty of our area, but know that eventually that entire space will be filled with buildings and with jobs, just improving the quality of life for our area. But certainly the new access road will make it much easier to get to, and certainly for manufacturers to pull their products off that mountain and get onto the highway. One of your exciting projects that you're working really closely on, and I'm certainly excited about it too, is our new Bob Amos Event Center. And we have talked in the last few weeks about people now are being able to see something take shape, and it is the Event Center with the retaining walls. But I want to take some time today to really update people on what that process is, how long it's going to take, and when we can look at putting events there.
Right, that's our new 7,000 square foot, 350 seat venue for various events. And as you travel on 23, you can see the retaining walls coming out of the ground, and that's been going on for a while, and it's just really an artifact of where we live and the places that we build. But it's on schedule to be completed by the end of this year, and we'll begin scheduling events there in February 2020. If you're interested in having your event, you need to contact Andrea Collins at the Appalachian Wireless Arena. But the foundation now has been poured, and very shortly walls will begin to be formed, and the project will move very rapidly from here.
We talk all the time about, I know in our conversations and within city government, about what that facility is going to look like. And it is certainly going to be a facility that is very conducive to our area. It is going to be somewhat rustic but elegant and comforting and inviting, with a lot of stonework and natural wood that will be in there. But really, it's not just going to be, it's going to be an extension, obviously, of the Appalachian Wireless Arena, so we can host conferences.
Absolutely.
That maybe the arena doesn't have the space for, or this is a more intimate location.
Right.
But I can imagine the number of weddings and showers and events that will take place, and we've had those on the mountain so many times.
We have.
At the Overlook. But this is going to be one more way to really just up your game, so to speak, if you're planning an event like that.
Right. Yeah, this venue will have, we believe, the best view of any venue in Pikeville, or the region for that matter. We're having a lot of phone calls that are interested in it, when it'll be done, when it's available. So we believe it's going to be a great addition to the things that we offer.
And we do want to make mention, too, a lot of people were concerned that the overlook aspect of Balm Amos will be gone, but certainly that is not the case, because on the back side, the part that overlooks 23 and the river, will have a large deck, a viewing deck, that people can go to at any time.
It'll be open anytime there's not an event.
Right, anytime there's not an event, I should say that.
So it will continue to be available for the overlook, and we'll have very beautiful views.
Yeah, it will be beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, as we always work to beautify our downtown, Main Street works really closely and is working on a Second Street streetscape project. It's kind of hard to say.
It is, yeah.
But that will take the green space that's along Division Street, just next to the new courthouse downtown. But we do want to kind of walk people through what that's going to look like, because there's some exciting features there.
Right. There's essentially 3 distinct projects as part of that streetscape project. One of them is along Division Street at the Judicial Center, as you mentioned, and that's going to be kind of a new park, per se, in that there will be an amphitheater. It's going to demonstrate the cut-through, both now and what the city looked like before that, in that the river will mimic its original pattern as well as its current pattern, as we have an artificial stream that will be created that runs the length of that block of Division Street. To the end, there'll be a fountain, and it will be very beautiful. We have some renderings of what that might look like, or what we anticipate it will look like, and it will be a very nice addition to the downtown area. But another part of that project is the App Plaza at the corner of 2nd and Division Street. We were recently awarded a grant to start doing some of that work. So that phase of the project will be replacement of that concrete with some stone pavers. We'll be adding some seating. And interestingly, the seating that we've selected will also serve its purpose as an art display. So as we have art exhibits or whatever there, that seating will be used for that purpose. I think that's really interesting. And then, of course, new landscaping on the plaza as well.
As you mentioned, the seating and the pavers that will be put there on the App Theater plaza, if you will, we do want to make mention, as we always do, that Appalachian Center for the Arts is not just going to be about plays anymore. There are so many different aspects that are going to be housed in that location. Like you mentioned, art shows, dinner theaters can be there. You can rent that space for a wedding if you choose, or a family event, or what have you. It really is going to be expanded exponentially on what we can put there, and certainly even on the plaza you can use that as well.
Right. Yeah, you're right. The mission for that facility has really changed. It's no longer just theater. It's an arts center, and we've already had our first concert there. We have another one scheduled for September. As you mentioned, dinner theater. We have a murder mystery scheduled in October. So there's a lot of really neat things that are going to happen there in the future, and that's a great point.
Yeah, it is, and if you've never been to one of those productions there, or any of the the camps that Robin and her folks are doing there for kids. That's remarkable. And recently, 2 members of the cast of Hamilton were there doing a master class, and I got to go over and view some of that and their direction that they were giving so many young aspiring actors from around our region. It was amazing.
Yeah, the master class was very well attended by not only local people, but people from throughout our region, which is exactly what we're trying to accomplish with that facility. So Robin Irwin and her staff are doing a great job. As they work with Paul Bowles and Larry Miller, and we know great things will continue to happen there.
There's a lot of, and we've mentioned between the two of us in the last few weeks about teamwork and how important it is to all be on the same page to push forward, because really that's what we're for, is to make sure that the quality of life and the experiences that people have when they come to Pikeville are second to none, and the app is really going to be a big component of making those experiences so well received.
Very much so.
We are fortunate in the city of Pikeville to have one of the greatest police forces, I believe, around. And public safety is something that is paramount in how we do our day-to-day activities. And hiring new officers, skilled officers, and officers for the future is something we're really focused on right now. We just welcomed in 2 new ones just a few days ago.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate to have a lot of our officers that have spent their entire career with the Pikeville Police Department, and now some of them are nearing the end of their careers, and they're beginning to retire, and we're replacing those positions, and in fact we're ahead of that curve in replacing the positions. So we do not have a shortage of police officers, which when we talk about hiring new ones, it makes you think, well, we may be short, but we're really not. We're in front of the retirements that we will have. So we did just have 2 new officers that graduated from the academy and are now patrolling the streets, Colby Hobson and Austin Kransman. They're in the midst of their 12-week field training with our field training officers, and all the reports are great. And along those lines, we've hired 3 more as conditional hires that will report to the academy in December. It's a 22-week academy, so it'll take some time to get them back and to be productive officers. But again, it's all about being prepared and being ahead of the curve as far as departures of our current staff.
Well, I think also that those conditional hires are willing to wait
to
attend the academy in December.
Very excited.
Right. Just speaks to the level of commitment that our police department has to quality care and quality public safety, that they're willing to wait to be part of one of the best forces in the state.
Yeah, our department really is a destination department. It's a place that officers want to serve. And that's just a compliment to the leadership there with Chief Edmonds and Commissioner Philip Reed. They really set a high standard, and you can see that in the quality of staff we have.
Every single day. Also, our fire department is the same way. Packy and our firefighters are, again, second to none, and we have received some grant funding for them.
Yeah, we always seek grant funding. It allows us to kind of lengthen the distance that the tax dollars go, and it's being a good steward of our tax dollars. But recently we did get 2 grants, one from the Kentucky Fire Commission for a new training facility that'll be built at Station 1 at the mouth of Cloy. And then we also received one from the Kentucky League of Cities for the purchase of some equipment, trench and confined space equipment that'll be stored under trucks for when, God forbid, those situations arise.
Well, we certainly don't thank them enough.
No, we don't.
I think
You're right.
Our fire department and our police department too. And if you see one of our guys out, our officers, just say thank you, because what they put into and the sacrifices that they make are what keep our community safe. And we certainly do appreciate their efforts. Events continue to go on in the city of Pikeville. It seems like every single day there's a new one added to our calendar. And so we just want to highlight and go over some of those events so people can, grab out their planner or their smartphone and jot those down. One coming up, and I know Andy's excited about these, as his whole crew is, Rumble in the Riverfield, going to take place July 20th.
It will. That's a street bike racing event. And you can ride your bikes downtown and into the Riverfield, and there's going to be live music between the races, great food and drinks. It's a great event, like all of our other ones.
Yeah, all of our other ones. And I mentioned our Jeep event that we had, Jeep thing. I know there's a joke between us, but the Jeep event that we had in June, I mean, absolutely remarkable. The weather kind of gave us a little bit of a problem initially, but what a fun experience. And now we're bringing the bikes in
That's right.
to downtown. So never at a loss for things to do if you're looking for events in the city. Also coming up at the Appalachian Wireless Arena, which has a full slate, I might add, coming up, is the Pikeville Comic and Toy Convention.
Yeah, this will be the third of those conventions, I believe. And it's grown every year, and we're confident it will this year as well.
Absolutely. We mentioned the the Appalachian Center for the Arts. I love the name. I love what it means and what it will mean for our region. But one event that I'm looking forward to is $1 Million Quartet. I cannot wait for this event to take place.
Yeah, this is one that Robin and her staff are really excited about. That's beginning on August the 8th and extends to the 24th every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's a Tony Award-winning play about one night in 1956 when Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Carl Perkins were all in the same studio at the same time and spent the night just playing and singing.
Yeah.
And Robin's really looking forward to that.
I think there are a lot of people looking forward to that. And if you were to come to our State Fair booth in Louisville coming up in August, we will have 2 of those performers there on our stage giving performances. So kind of like a preview of what is to come, and we're really looking forward to that event. Also, Sally McCoy, and Robin is really excited about this.
She is. It's a play that was originally done at the Burger Theater in Abingdon. Of course, with our Hatfield-McCoy heritage in this area, it's very appropriate to have that. Robin is extremely excited to offer that, and that will be in September through early October.
Going to be a lot of fun, and also you can preview that at the State Fair booth as well. I keep putting in the plug in for that because if you're looking something to do in those 10 days, certainly come visit us at the State Fair. We mentioned we had Confederate Railroad at the App as like a small concert a month or so ago. Another concert coming, Daryl Scott, he's a singer-songwriter, going to be there on September 22nd. Yeah,
it's as we continue to add concerts, that's just the next one in the lineup.
Yeah, and Daryl Scott, if you're not familiar, he wrote and sings the song "Never Leave Harlan Alive," which was used in a television show a few years ago that was phenomenal. But he has really been instrumental and had his hand in a lot of different songs that you'll recognize, and that he does have the ability and the right to sing and display for you and perform. So that's going to be a fun event, and you can stop by the ticket office at the Appalachian Wireless Arena to pick up tickets for that event, or you can stop by the venue the night of to purchase your tickets. As we always do, we want to invite everyone to our commission meetings that we have twice monthly.
Yep, the second and fourth Mondays of every month at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And there's time that you can address the commission if you're interested, or if you're just interested in what's going on in the city.
Absolutely, and they're always very informative, as I've seen now that I'm there at all of them.
We have very busy agendas.
We always do. If you're looking for any of these events that we've talked about, of course, visit Pikeville.com is the premier destination to go to for all things Pikeville.
It is.
Visit pikevilleky.gov. If you're looking to open a business, we'll have information there on how you can do that and different ordinances that you will need to abide by. But also, Jimmy Taylor's got his new app, his Visit Pikeville app, and that has everything listed on there.
Yeah, you can't go without talking about the app.
I can't go without talking about the app because I use it daily as I remind myself of things that are coming up. And I tell everybody, if you are looking for something to do, pull it up, Android or smartphone, Apple, and push the button, and you can find anything that you need for your family. And get on the river, too.
That's right.
We forgot to talk about the river.
We did.
River trails are really happening now. Of course, Muddy Boots, and you can also zip line at Bob Amos.
Or horses.
Or horses, any of that. So we have something for everyone. Pikeville is certainly the destination where you can come and stay and play in the region, and we're looking forward to having all those visitors see us.
Absolutely, we are.
Again, lots of information in 30 minutes, Philip.
Yeah, as always.
As always, and I look forward to next time. Thanks so much.
Too. Thank you.
This has been the Pikeville City Manager's Report. Thank you so much for joining us.